WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. We're learning new details about the circumstances surrounding the deadly shooting of a Columbus teenager.
17-year-old Curtis Lathan was arrested yesterday and charged with murder. A judge denied him bond. Lathan is charged as an adult. WCBI Scott Martin spoke with Columbus Police Chief Fred Shelton and has the very latest.
This shooting has devastated many here in the Friendly City and in Columbus. 16-year-old Erica White, she was shot and killed at a birthday party, a Sweet 16 birthday party outside the Probst Park Community Activity Center. You can see behind me here, part of it still taped off. I just spoke with Police Chief Fred Shelton earlier today, who says it's a devastating case. Investigators, they remain to be a little tight-lipped, trying to keep the integrity of this investigation. Multiple sources do tell us, though, that a security guard was at the party when an argument broke out. Those same sources say the security guard fired rounds in the air to try and break up a fight. Chief Shelton, he says when police arrived, there was not any sign or anybody in any security gear. However, he did say there was a large disturbance that police were responding to here at the park. As you said earlier, 17-year-old Curtis Lathan is charged and believed to have fired a gun after hearing other shots. One of those bullets hitting and killing White. Investigators believe that she was just an innocent bystander.
From this, what we're doing is, again, we've talked about implementing different measures to make sure things like that don't happen. So I've requested that any time that a city facility is rented, that they will give the police department a copy of it, of the application, so we'll know who's renting and what type of event they're having. And hopefully, if it's the event that we think that's cause concern, we'll either ask the renter to not allow them to have it, or we'll go down there, and if it seems out of control and there's some illegal activity going on, then we'll ask them to shut it.
Now, Chief Shelton tells us that in the past, police have requested a copy of an application. However, in this case, they did not request a copy of an application. Chief Shelton says that he does expect more arrests to be made in the case. He also says that one other person that was at the party has been cited for firing a weapon within city limits. He didn't tell us who or anything other than that person was at the party. Also, we want to know that city ordinance prohibits the carrying of firearms inside any recreational facility and community centers unless you have a concealed carry permit or if it's approved by City Council. We'll hear more from Chief Shelton tonight at 10. Reporting live in Columbus, Scott Martin, WCBI News.
All right, thanks, Scott. An update tonight on the deadly 8-person accident that happened last month in Kipper County. A federal report says a box truck crossed the center line and hit the van. 8 passengers in that van died at the scene. They were not wearing seat belts. Investigators say the van was owned by Columbus-based Sharp Forestry. It was on the way to Monroeville, Alabama. The driver of that van was given a ticket for not having a driver's license. The truck was owned by Overnight Parts Alliance based in Birmingham.
If you're driving through Amory, you may want to pay extra attention to the road and your speedometer.
And police are stepping up patrols there. Allie Martin tells us why and has a look at the results.
Amory police officer Matt Flippo is parked along Hatley Road running radar in clear view of motorists.
197.
Amory Police Chief Ronnie Bowen says his department has received a high number of complaints about people driving well above the 30-mile-an-hour posted speed limit along Hatley Road and other residential areas in the city. The chief posted a warning on Facebook that officers would be conducting increased patrols in those problem areas.
We issued the notice that we were going out to start cracking down on the speeding violators.
Chief Bowen says the stepped-up enforcement is already making a difference. Last week, there were 23 tickets written for speeding. The chief says during a typical week, 6 to 7 speeding citations are issued.
Speeding's not a big problem unless it's in front of your house where you're trying to, go out and your kids are playing and you're concerned about their safety. So what we do is, out of respect for others, is obey the speed law, and especially through the residential areas. We have some thoroughfares, but there's houses all along those streets in the city.
Amory schools start back in a couple of weeks. Chief Bowen is hopeful that the stepped-up patrols will have a positive impact when students start back to school.
We're fixing to introduce school buses into the traffic flow in the mornings and evenings, which will be kids getting out, and we don't want a tragedy. And so we're going to not only continue to look at the speeding real close, especially in school zones. There are 15-mile-an-hour school zones posted.
Chief Bowen says the increased patrols will continue as long as they're needed. In Amory, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Bowen also points out that all of the traffic details will involve marked units in plain view of motorists. Time now to turn our attention to weather. Meteorologist Kendall Smith joins us with a first look at our forecasts.
Well, a beautiful day across the area as well as a pleasant evening is in store for us. This is taking a live look in downtown Columbus on our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera Network, where it's 84 here in Columbus, 82 a little cooler in Starkville, and 82 in Winona. If you check out those dew points are sitting in the low 60s. So even though it is rather warm out there, it's feeling pretty comfortable. Now, as we go throughout your overnight hours, temperatures will dip down into the low 60s, partly cloudy skies expected.
Well, it is move-in week in Webster County. After 6.5 long years, the county once again has its own courthouse.
Our Riley Livingston talks with county officials about how the new facility is helping them. She joins us in the studio with more. Riley.
It was the news many people had been waiting for. The Webster County Courthouse is open for business, and on Monday, work officially got underway.
Over 6 years ago, a fire destroyed the Webster County Courthouse, scattering county offices and employees into temporary quarters. But now they are back together under one roof.
It's been 6.5 years since the courthouse burned, and when you have worked in a building as long as we had worked in the Webster County Courthouse, it's like losing a home. But we're so excited to be in this new building, and we're enjoying it.
The county office building made room for some officials, including Circuit Clerk Sherry Henderson. While she was thankful for the space, there were some drawbacks.
If anybody had come in to see us, you could tell that we were kind of squashed together, desks butted up against each other. Basically, we could roll around in our chairs and go wherever we needed to go. So
that's no longer an issue.
Having all this room, it's wonderful. We have places for our books to go. We have a workroom. I have an office. We have the outer office for people to come in. We have a vault. And so we just have so much room. We're filling it up really fast, but we're just so thankful to have that much room.
Chancery Judge Rodney Favor is excited about upgrades in the new courtrooms.
They've got everything state of the art. I mean, we've got projectors that attorneys can put evidence up for us to view, and the people in the courtroom, they've got a sound system that is outstanding. It is going to be able to allow me not to have to yell, the witnesses not to have to yell. It's just we've got everything that you could possibly want in a courthouse.
Henderson does want to thank Choctaw County for letting them hold court in their courthouse while they were displaced.
The wife of a late Wcbi County supervisor will now fill his seat. County leaders unanimously voting today to appoint Melinda Oliver to the District 2 position. Longtime supervisor Boo Oliver died earlier this month. The Board of Supervisors met this morning to take the vote. Melinda Oliver will fill the remainder of her husband's term. It ends December 31st.
The Mississippi State Department of Health is warning of a possible hepatitis A exposure at a Calhoun City restaurant. An employee at Los Encinos Mexican Grill has been diagnosed with the virus. Customers who ate at the restaurant from July 5th to July 23rd are encouraged to get a hepatitis A vaccination. Symptoms of the virus include nausea, vomiting, jaundice, and abdominal pain. Anyone with those symptoms should see their health care provider.
An area town comes together to help kids go back to school.
We find out how they're getting students prepared when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. The first day of school is just a few weeks away. I'm going to whisper that because kids don't want to hear it. But parents, of course, are shopping for school supplies to help them out. The First Unity United Methodist Church in Ware today distributed backpacks full of school supplies. Children from all over the community had the chance to pick up notebooks, pens, pencils, and binders. These supplies were donated by local families and businesses. The children were all excited to get their new gear.
Ones that I've already been in here kind of looking at different things, they were like, oh, that's nice, oh, that's nice. Is it going in my bag? That's my bag. We're getting this thing, and they're excited. And they've been excited.
They're excited. The kids also had a chance to hang out together before getting all their supplies today.
Well, we will continue to see bright and sunny weather to end our week, but our typical summer weather pattern will return by next week. More on those details coming up next.
Your first alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith.
Well, it was a beautiful day across the area today, and it's still bright and sunny out there. This is taking a live look in downtown Louisville, Mississippi. On our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera, we are seeing lots of blue skies, not hardly any clouds in the sky as well. Temperatures are sitting in the mid-80s with a dew point at 68, so it feels rather comfortable out there if you do happen to be out and about at this time. And that's what we're seeing area-wide. Temperatures much of the same. 84 here in Columbus, 81 a little cooler in Amory, 84 in West Point, and 81 in Starkville. Now, as we go throughout your overnight hours, temperatures will dip down into the low 60s. Mostly clear nights in store for us. It will be another cool and refreshing night, feeling more like fall than it is July. And winds will be calm out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So check out our record lows. If we make it down into the upper 50s tonight, we can set some records. The last time we saw 59 degrees in Columbus was in 1911, 62 in 2014 in Tupelo, and 58 in 2014 in Oxford. So we could set some records tonight. We're going to continue to monitor that as we go throughout the next several hours. So on our comfort index, temperatures will be in the 80s, but with those dew points, like I said, it will feel rather comfortable outside. So the next 48 hours, it's a nice time to get outside and do any outdoor activities. So we're seeing partly cloudy skies out there. Currently, the clouds start to dissipate as we go throughout the overnight hours, looking at mostly clear conditions by midnight. That'll continue to be the trend by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, looking at lots and lots of sunshine. And then by the afternoon hours, clouds do start to increase just a little bit, still seeing quite a bit of sunshine out there, maybe a few clouds, and that will continue to be the trend as we go throughout the overnight hours as well. Some clouds do start to build in by the overnight hours for Thursday. So on satellite and radar, this cold front has shifted to our south. This is what has brought us cooler temperatures as well as less humidity. It is starting to mix with the warm Gulf air as well as the waters, and that's going to create a low pressure system that could potentially create a tropical system. Now the percentages for this are low, 10% of this actually happening. For the most part, it's just something to watch over the next several days. The greatest chance to see some rain is going to come from this down along the Gulf. So Futurecast shows Friday morning we're looking at partly cloudy skies. The clouds do start to increase during the afternoon on Friday. Still a lot of sunshine is in store for us for your Friday. And then on Saturday morning, partly cloudy skies out there, but by the afternoon, we could see 1 or 2 isolated showers or thunderstorms, but the greatest chance to see some rain will come on Sunday as well as Monday. So that's going to be the trend of area-wide. Temperatures will top out in the upper 80s tomorrow, and we're going to keep those nice temperatures going over the next several days. But by the beginning of next week, we'll be back to summer weather with temperatures in the low 90s.
The high school football tour continues with Houston. More on the Toppers after the break.
Your WCBI Sports is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris Bolton. The 31st stop of the high school football tour takes us to Chickasaw County, visiting with the Houston Hilltoppers. Yet another uber talented bunch for the Toppers, looking to take the next step and end the season satisfied.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Sparklight.
Just let everybody know at 3 we coming.
The history makers in Houston believe this year may be the best one yet. 2018 brought the Toppers its first division title in 20 years, and this year's senior class has seen its win total increase in each of the past 3 seasons.
Those guys have been playing together since Pee Wee, and they're a very special group. They have a very good bond. It's just makes my job easy.
You basically got to say defense, and the way we working, I pretty much think we can be better than we were last year.
We got some guys coming up that I feel like are going to do a good job on the O-line and in the secondary, and I feel like this season we're going to go all the way this season.
The one glaring hole head coach Ty Harden's bunch will have to fill, reigning end zone offensive player of the year Jalen May. Harden believes he has plenty of guys chomping at the bit to fill May's shoes.
I think we've got more athletes than we had. We just don't have that one dynamite touchdown maker. We've got several guys that can do it, though. You know, we got Bobby Townsend, Xavier Ford, Ja'Cory Golden, Red Parker, Allen Robertson. All those guys, they can score anytime they get the ball in their hand.
Back-to-back third-round playoff appearances, back-to-back seasons coming up just short of a North Half final appearance. The Toppers are tired of the third-round hump and know they have what it takes to get to Hattiesburg.
We have a lot of talent in different positions and a lot of fresh people. The third round really was our hump, but this year we're going to pass the third round. We're going to go all the way this year.
No little mistakes, and I mean, those little mistakes add up to losses. Like last year, you know, fumbles and all, you know, they caused us to lose. So we just take that and, you know, work harder and not make those same mistakes again.
We ask them every week, every day, do we want to be a third-round team? Or do we want to keep making history? We've made history every year with wins, but we're not satisfied. Was not satisfied this past season, not going to be satisfied until we take that next step.
Houston kicks off 2019 in H-Town, taking on the Pontotoc Warriors. With Topper Pride on the high school football tour, Tom Ebel, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Houston High School was brought to you by Houston Banking Center.
Mississippi State women's head coach Vic Schaefer is teaming up with USA Basketball as he joins the coaching staff in preparation for the Pan American Games. Schaefer joins the staff as an assistant coach. Training camp for the game started today and runs through August 1st. The Pan American Games are held every 4 years in the year prior to the Olympics. The Pan Am Games start on August 6th. CP3 is known as one of the best to do it at the point guard position, making it that much more special for Ole Miss guard Breon Tyree to attend his camp. The top returning scorer in the SEC was one of 24 players to receive an invite to Chris Paul's elite guard camp last weekend. Last season, Tyree averaged 17.9 points per game. The first-team All-SEC guard enters his senior campaign with 1,187 career points, ranking him as 28th all-time on Ole Miss's scoring list. That's all we have for sports. We'll have a last look at your forecast coming up after the break.
All right, attention soap opera fans. Today's episodes of The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful will air tonight after the Late Late Show with James Corden. Those programs were preempted today, of course, by coverage of the Mueller hearings. Both shows will air in their entirety starting at 1:05 a.m. or set your DVR or just stay up and watch it.
You might need some coffee or
Yes.
something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to keep this trend of nice weather going for your Thursday and Friday, as well as Saturday. We are going to bring a few rain chances back in by the end of your weekend, as well as by the beginning of next week, with temperatures making it back into the low 90s. But hey, we still have some nice weather in store for us.
All right, it's certainly been nice. We just put it on pause right here.
Oh, yeah, it felt great today
I
and
know.
yesterday.
It's going to feel even nicer tomorrow. So.
Great.
All right, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Have a great night.